Oh, welcome to the Game Professor Podcast, where the students have taken over and we profess our love and hate for all things video games. We are back this week after I decided to actually go to the doctor, get some medicine, and combat some illness. I can actually talk and I'm alive and currently standing at my standing desk because that's how I record. And we are actually going to have an episode this week. So hopefully the interruptions cease for a while. But let's get into it. Disney doesn't have enough and has to extract with your loadout. Coming in for some free games, great. But they leave and go back to Steam almost immediately. YouTubers going to Hollywood as there's some rumblings about some new movies. Sony takes a page out of the phone marketing playbook, and it's not a good one. Sony axed its single-player savant in favor of failure. Marathon made it off the starting line, but is struggling to get to the finish. An executive actually understanding the value of the dollar, as we get into an Xbox article. I know. A veritable buffet of good games this last week, with even a couple before that. And NASA finds Starfield in its plumbing, which turned out was the problem, and still fixed it faster than the Sony port. So, let's get into it. Apparently, Bloomberg is reporting this week that Epic Games is developing a tactical extraction shooter featuring Disney characters, and the news comes from 4 anonymous Epic employees familiar with the project. Currently slated for a November 2026 release window. Obviously, heavy Arc Raiders comparison, wanting something that's easy to get into, fun to play, and holds people for a while. Although Arc Raiders is currently struggling, but look, just to get into this quickly, I think it's dumb that people are like, Arc Raiders is dying. Like, how many months did it have super high player numbers? Not everything has to be the game that retains its players year over year, decade over decade, okay? You can have a good game that people enjoy for plenty of months, and we can collectively move on, okay? It doesn't have to be something that just dies. It had its moment. Its moment is past. We move on to something else.
How are we considering 68,000 players right now and 82,000 in the last 24 to be dead? If it was an MMO, yes, that's pretty close to dead.
I mean, we'll get into that later, but those are bigger numbers than Marathon. But it's because it's, a small percentage of what it was. But we're also how many months now past its launch?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a percentage basis, sure, World of Warcraft's dead too.
I mean, you're not wrong, but those numbers are massive. But it's
no.
It's one of those things that I don't understand. Like, we constantly sit here and bemoan the live service game. And then we all talk about a game being dead because it was very popular for 5 months and is now suddenly just average popular. Like, who cares?
Yep.
Not again, the Valorants, the League of Legends, the Counter-Strikes, the Rocket Leagues, those are all exceptions to the rule. The diamonds that almost nobody will ever find. Games have a shelf life, and you can always enjoy them whenever you want to enjoy them, but they have a shelf life for worldwide popularity. 99% of the time.
They also have a competitive aspect. Right? Like, no one is playing Arc Raiders and competing on a leaderboard or anything, or even competing against one another. Right? It's literally just there's PvP, but there's not really much to it.
No, it's sold an experience. It was a community experience.
Yes. People
enjoyed and had fun with that experience for a very long time.
Yep.
And it's time to move on to other stuff. It also doesn't help that we'll talk about that too, that there's some very good games that have been releasing recently. So that's always going to pull people away as well. Anyways, Disney/Fortnite /Epic Games looking for that kind of flash in the pan Arc Raider success within a Disney extraction shooter. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, cool. I hope they get it.
I think it would be really funny to run around as Mickey Mouse and just blow people's heads off.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is you're not going to be able to do that, right?
I know.
Like, even if you are able to shoot other Disney characters, it's only going to be a health bar and the character's going to fall over, right?
Yeah, for sure. Metaphorically.
There's no way in reality you're ever going to be able to do anything violent to a genuine Disney character on any sort of official game.
For sure. Outside of
mods?
Kingdom Hearts.
Even then, do you know how many approvals a lot of that stuff goes through? And it's a tailor-made experience that isn't officially able to be changed in the regular base game without any sort of mods. Like, you know, it's very along a certain path.
Oh, yeah. Very cut and dry.
Yeah. Anyways, it's supposed to have PvE elements alongside of PvP. Like I said, arc raiders. Bloomberg alleges that the internal feedback at Epic itself has been mixed, with some reviewers suggesting it lacks originality and feels like trend chasing, which, shock. Oh my goodness. No way. You're trying to make an extraction shooter? Wow. What a novel idea. No one's done that in like 24 hours. Epic Senior Director of Global Communications, Liz Markham, disputed the characterization of the report, saying the claims are not reflective in the ambitions of the project. The shooter is reportedly the most promising of 3 major Disney-themed titles in development, with the second title reportedly having a lukewarm reception as well. And the third project saw its resources allocated to the extraction shooter that we are currently discussing.
Most promising in what regard? Most promising to make money? Or most promising to be a good game?
No, the money is what I'm assuming.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm assuming here.
Look, you make mobile games to make money. You make real games because you're passionate.
Sure.
Like if money... It was a real game once upon a time. Now it really is kind of mobile slop on a computer.
It's a mobile console game.
It kind of is.
You're not wrong. Oh, that's funny though. I do like that. I'm just gonna start calling games that are cash grabs just mobile games, even if it's a console game.
100%.
Dang this mobile game.
I mean, you know, like the Nintendo Switch is a console, but like my phone is more powerful. So like, you know, if my phone can run it, is it a mobile game?
I mean, are technically any games that can be played on a Steam Deck a mobile game? They're mobile, right? Play it on the go.
Now you're reaching.
It's the definition of being on the go, mobile. Anyways, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not rooting for Disney to make a terrible game. If they make a great game that's has Disney characters and is fun, and I can do cool stuff with my friends, and we can have a good time on it, yay, we all win. Like, having less good games in the market is not a win for any sort of actual gamer. I'm just obviously very pessimistic about the whole thing. So whatever happens with it, we'll see. But apparently November 2026. So keep your eyes on the horizon for that. If you've been dying to play an extraction shooter, but you just can't because it doesn't have princesses or Mickey, then I'm sure that'll come around for you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. Let's get into Epic Games. We're circling back around because we've talked about this before. But 2 former Epic employees with direct knowledge of store operations revealed that Epic Games has struggled to build loyal customer bases despite billions spent on exclusives and giveaways. Internal data confirming a frustrating pattern where users log in specifically to claim the weekly free games, of which I am raising my hand. We don't have video yet, but I'm raising my hand here because that is me. And then immediately bounce back to Steam to play their existing library or make other purchases. And we've pointed out before, but when games go free on the Epic Game Store, their revenue and sales increase by like 200% on Steam if they're like old games.
It's
because
hilarious.
People go look at it and see about it because of the free game promotion and then go, yeah, but it's only $4 on Steam. I'm just going to go buy it on Steam.
Exactly. Yup. I mean, here's the problem, okay? What's their refund policy? Do you know it off the top of your head? But I know Steam's.
I mean, yeah, but we're definitely Steam players.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I've had Epic for a long time, and I've played games on Epic. I have purchased games.
Didn't we just talk about the refund policy like 2 weeks ago?
It's very possible.
Or like 3 weeks ago.
But like, I've played games on there. I've purchased games from there. The problem that I have always had is that the store sucks. There's no solid page for a game. Right?
Well, I mean, I think it's a lot better than it used to be. And I think it's serviceable. But I think one of the things you're getting at here is if I have a nice house that has all the crap in it that I want and use on a daily basis, and then I have an average house that may have some interesting stuff in it, which one do I want to spend my time in? Like, which one do I want to add the new cool poster to put up, in my house? Like, is it going to be the average house that I have only a few things in, or is it going to be the one I actually live out of and do most of my daily stuff? So,
there's the other thing.
If the price difference is negligible, I'm just going to get it for the one thing that I want to open and not the second one.
Yeah, for sure. The only other thing that I can possibly think of is sunk cost fallacy, right? How many hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars do you have in your Steam library? Like it's the same thing that a lot of people say when it comes to MMOs. 9 times out of 10, yes, you'll probably go and try a new MMO, but you're always going to compare it to the MMO that you've played the majority of your life. Right? And I find myself doing this too. Every single MMO I've ever played, I compare to WoW. And inevitably, you tend to just go back.
You definitely got back together with your ex, that's for sure.
That's true.
WoW was in the rearview mirror. You weren't even booty calling anymore, dude. And then all of a sudden you ran into her at the marketplace, and one thing led to another, and oh man, you're going strong again.
I blame COVID.
Also, I'd like to point out I made a joke about owning 2 houses earlier, and I don't even own one. So.
Yes. Right though.
Anyways. Steve Allison, head of Epic Games, recently admitted that the store is only marginally profitable 8 years after its 2018 launch. Yeah, I mean, like, obvious. This is one of the reasons why they claim Steam is a monopoly, because they can't compete. So,
I mean, hey, but at the exact same time, a marginally profitable store is still better than a lot of others.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I think it's competitive enough to exist. Right? And I will never advocate for an actual monopoly. So, like all those Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo fanboys that actively cheer for the other platform's death are insane to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I want Epic Game Stores to stick around for forever, just so that there's an alternative. Because, God forbid, something happens and I can go, well, there's an alternative. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
It keeps Steam honest too.
Yeah, I mean, we right now, especially because Gabe is still around, Steam is pretty steady in its views and policies. But if Gabe goes away, there's nothing stopping, whoever takes over, actual person, investment firm, whatever, from going, well, a 30% cut, why not a 40% cut or a 45% cut or yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden now, we go back to the age of where third-party sellers are trying to find other places to sell their games.
Yep.
So, things can flip real quick.
It's a balancing act. A very, very thin balancing act. Because if one change takes one change that Valve makes to Steam and their entire user base just says, nope, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
And they'll just never buy anything on there again.
100%. And look, I trust Gabe as a person, and everything he said ever in interviews shows me that he's an actual gamer and cares. But all it takes is for him to go away. He's not going to live we just had a whole story about how one of the biggest influencers of the FPS gaming landscape passed away. Right? What's stopping Gabe from slipping on his yacht and going overboard, and that's it?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So, and then, God, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but things can change. Competition is good. EGS recently recorded 78 million monthly active users on PC, which is good. Steam only hit 42 million concurrent users. Only 78 million monthly active users to Steam going, oh yeah, we got 60% of that on it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. We'll move on from here, but I hope Epic sticks around, but the Monopoly Steam stuff is ridiculous. And I will continue to go on there and get free games and then leave.
I don't even do that anymore, dude.
If it's an interesting enough game, I do.
It's fair.
But, I'm not necessarily every day going, what's the free game today?
Yeah.
But, if I see an article, it's hey, there's this really cool free game. I'm oh, let me look at it. Oh, that is a cool free game. All right, log in, claim. Okay, cool, that was fun. And then leave. Outside of that, there is an official Bloodborne movie actually happening, with Sony Pictures officially announcing a feature-length animated movie based off of the game of the same name, obviously. The announcement took place during Sony's presentation at CinemaCon in 2026 on the Vegas Strip, Monday night, April 13th. The film is confirmed to be rated R, which good, it should be, because I don't know how you make that movie for that game not rated R.
Yep.
It's just I just don't think it's possible. Sony executives emphasized a commitment to the gory, spirited, and brutal tone of the game. So, if you're a fan, that's coming down the line. Production partners, obviously Sony Pictures, PlayStation Productions, Lyrical Animation, which is also working on a Death Stranding animated project. And nice. They're also co-financing along Sony. Any ideas on the producer, Heru? Any ideas?
I definitely have some ideas. I'm also staring at it, though, so it's not really fair.
All right, for any of you who have a guess, go ahead, pause this, put it in the comments. You're all wrong. It's Jacksepticeye. Specifically by his non-stage name, Sean McLaughlin. Jacksepticeye is officially attached as a producer. Widely known in the community as a Bloodborne superfan. He's played through the game extensively in his time on the interwebs, and even has the Hunter's Mark tattoo on his arm. So if you're willing to get a tattoo of any sort of in-game stuff, I would say you are a degree of fan over most. So yeah,
I'd have to agree.
He's got skin in the game, you would say.
Oh, man. You know what's really funny? I have to side story real quick. What's really funny about this is that there was a time that I definitely wanted a Monster Hunter tattoo.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Wilds came out.
I mean, you could still get one of like a previous title of a member you love.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get the title, right? I'd probably get like a weapon, like a specific weapon design.
That's fair.
That's in one of the games.
You know what I should do? I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to do the Paragon Renegade symbol from Mass Effect. Just right on my forehead. No, I'm just kidding.
Gotta put it on the neck.
Yeah, perfect. In a statement, Jacksepticeye said that he vows to make the best adaptation possible, citing his deep respect for the game. Great. I mean, cool. I don't know how much, like, yeah, okay, it says he's a producer, but, like, how much influence does he actually have?
That's a good question.
We'll wait and see. I trust Sony to make a more faithful adaptation than any sort of streaming service at the moment, because they've all shown that they're kind of incompetent. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll ignore the fact that Sony has their own streaming service.
Yeah, but I'm mostly referring to the Primes and the Netflixes.
Yeah.
So I think this is cool. There's also obviously a Helldivers movie that's kind of in the works, a Zelda movie, and a Death Stranding animated movie as well. So there's lots of cool stuff coming out for gamers at some point. I personally look forward to the Helldivers movie. I hope it doesn't get, like, you know, too high and mighty and just leans into the ridiculousness of for Super Earth, because I just want a fun, stupid, silly ride.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like, it's one of those few things that I would probably watch just for good laughs.
Yeah.
Like, I probably would not expect to, like, really enjoy it, like, because I mean, I'm way more into the very serious stuff, which is so hard when you're an anime fan.
Did you see the recent Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Yes. Didn't we go see it together?
I'm pretty sure we did. I just want to make sure. I mean, I had a good time with it. Look,
I had a good time as well.
Is it, like, necessarily a good movie? I would say if you had to ask me if it's good or bad, it would fall on the side of good. But I wouldn't like put it in my realm of, oh, you have to watch these movies. But did I have a fun time with it?
Yeah,
yes.
Sure.
Is that all I want from my movie tie-ins at a minimum, is to have fun with it? Yes. If it's good or great movie outside of it, that's bonus. Just let me have fun with the fucking movie.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely like, I mean, it's entertainment for a reason, right? That's what we want. Now,
exactly.
Everyone's definition of fun is different, obviously. Look at me, I play World of Warcraft, so I literally hate myself for fun.
You're not wrong. That is,
but like, I mean, I had so many complaints when it came to the D&D movie, but it was an enjoyable experience. And if you weren't big into D&D, you did, because it was supposed to be based off of 5th edition, right? And if you didn't know all the freaking rule sets because you've played a million games, you've DM'd games, you know, all of that stuff, you've read the player handbook front to back, then you'll probably enjoy it, right? If you haven't done those things. But if you have, you realize very quickly that has to be a level 20 druid, and I don't understand how they're that weak. Because, like, level 20 characters are basically gods. Like legitimately. I'm not even kidding.
I get it. I'm with you. I understand.
I know you are. But it's because, like,
But you were still able to suspend disbelief to enjoy it because there was enough there. It's the same with me for, like, a lot of firearm movies. It's like, I'll look at stuff and be like, that's just not how that works.
Now, the one movie that is based off of some other thing, right? An adaptation of something that I just could not suspend disbelief was Ready Player One.
See, I heard that so much that I was literally about to read the book, and I didn't read the book so
Correct.
that I could go enjoy the movie, which I did. And then I read the book, and I fucking loved the book, and I was like, oh, I can see why people didn't like the movie. But I saw the movie first, so I still had a good time.
Yes, I can admit that the movie tells a very condensed story.
They cut so much out. There's so much heart and soul that's cut out, bro.
Yeah, granted, a lot of it is copyright and crap like that. They'd have to get licensing for it. I understand the reason that they did it. I don't care. You should have just not made it.
Even with me in the Harry Potter books, which I haven't ever seen in full, movies 4 through the end. Because after the third Harry Potter movie, where a lot of my favorite scenes were cut out, just because the books are big. Yeah. And those scenes, I'm not gonna sit here and argue weren't the best options to cut out. They were in the book, those were some of my favorite experiences and memories from the stories that were told.
For sure.
And they're just not there. For example, in the first movie, there's the poison challenge that they just cut out of the movie. That's just not in there. So I get it. I 100% get it. Which is why recently I went and saw Project Hail Mary, and I have not read the book, and I'm looking forward to reading the book. But have you seen Project Hail Mary?
No, not yet.
Oh, dude, you should absolutely go. It is fantastic. It's the type of movie that we should be supporting. It's good, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's awesome.
Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about it. Unfortunately, it becomes difficult with a 6-year-old.
Candy. I don't know.
I'd have to pawn him off on someone.
Yeah.
Whether that be his mother or not.
Figure it out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, it's hard, and I totally understand if you don't. I get it, but you should figure it out. It's awesome. But
I will watch it at some point, whether that be in theaters or not, is a whole other story.
Anyways,
I know.
Point being, I went and saw the movie first, and plan on enjoying the book afterwards. One of our friends, Tiger, actually read the book first when he knew we were all going. And I don't know why he decided that's what he wanted to do. And obviously he said the book's better, but he said it's probably one of the best movie adaptations he's ever seen. And he didn't think there was a lot of deeper details and stuff they cut out, which he was sad to see go, but he was so stoked about the movie, which I don't think I've ever really seen about somebody who's read a book and then went and watched the movie. So
right.
He thought it was a great time. Anyways, good gaming movies on the horizon for people. Well, hopefully they're good. We'll see. Good options on the horizon, let's say. And our last piece, kind of in our introduction segment here, there is a rumor. This is a rumor, non-official rumor, but it comes from Moore's Law is Dead, which is a big prominent leaker kind of in the space. Which released a video on April 10th detailing Sony's internal strategy for a 3-tiered hardware launch for the 10th console generation, with the PS6 S concept or Lite, an entry-level home console. So the PS6 S, gosh, I hope that's not the name, is intended to offer a lower cost entry point, similar strategy to what Microsoft did with the Series S, which also attained a terrible naming convention. So the PS6 S is estimated to be between $350 and $550, with a potential PS6 handheld being between $500 and $700, which would be similar to an Xbox handheld where it's playing PlayStation games. And then the main PlayStation 6 kind of standard / pro console being $700 to $1,000.
See, feel bad for the developers. Like not the hardware developers, the game developers, because like they have to make, like, obviously they want to make their game as good as possible, both graphically and mechanically. At least generally that's what they want to do.
100%.
But now they have to make it that way and then dumb it down for the light version.
Well, because that was one of the attractive things about console, right? Because PC was, yeah, you've got the latest hardware that you can optimize for, but realistically, you need to optimize. And to be clear here, I'm not going to go indie game here. Let's go big AAA game. You need to optimize your big AAA game to work on, let's say, at recommended spec has to be like last 6 years of hardware. Is kind of what you're going at. And there's a lot of SKUs in there. A lot of different graphics cards, RAM speeds, hard drive speeds, although now kind of switching over to SSD, that's becoming less of a problem. But at one point, you did have to go choose between hard drive and SSD. You had to optimize both. And also into obviously CPU, different, kind of capabilities for any sort of peripherals outside of that. And on console, it was, here's the model, here's the controller. Done.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was so easy to optimize because it was just one set of hardware.
Yep. And even then, consoles never got more powerful. It was just smaller, right? It was always the same console, but just smaller, more compact.
Yeah,
until
exactly.
The last generation, that PS4 generation, started to do pro versions.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have, but I mean, like, if this plays out, right? You could have a PlayStation Lite, which is one version. You could have a handheld, which is another version. You could have a standard version, which is a fourth version. You could have a pro version, which that's the fourth version. And then you could potentially have like a souped up high-end 4K version, even over the pro, because I've seen rumors about that too. So you could end up having 5 different PlayStation 6 SKUs.
Yeah, and then at that point, you might as well just buy a PC.
Yeah, I mean, you're less restricted. Games are cheaper.
I still find it very frustrating because it's just so dumb that these consoles still haven't made a modular design yet.
I mean, well, but so here's the thing. It's not modular because of economies of scale, right? Like, in the past, you've been selling them at a loss, and because you're making the same thing over and over and over and over again for years and years and years, the tooling's already done, you're making the same thing, it becomes way cheaper and way more profitable towards the end. So the modular thing kills all of that flat out.
That's true.
I'm with you. From a consumer standpoint,
yeah.
I love the idea of a modular. Here's, just because the naming works so well for it, here's the base Xbox.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then you slot in different components to the Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
it.
Exactly.
Slot in an improved graphics card. Right? Slot in additional RAM. Slot in.
Just VRAM. Here's extra VRAM.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
A little harder because VRAM has to be really close to the actual processing unit, but whatever. Point being is, modular stuff would be kind of cool, but it won't happen. I mean, one of the things I wanted back in the day, because I don't remember if it was Nokia or Motorola, someone had the concept of a modular smartphone, where basically it was just the board in the middle, and then you could snap on whatever screen you wanted on the front, and on the back was just squared off components. You could put on a souped up camera, you could put on a big fat battery, you could put on an extra large speaker, whatever you wanted. That was super cool. And
I think it was Motorola.
Never happened. Never gonna happen.
There were some out there.
There have been some concepts that got closer than not. But
there were some that got released for sure. It was just not nearly.
Don't forget your air
level.
quotes.
Yeah. It was not nearly the level of modular that we would expect. But there were absolutely some that like you could take off the back of it and put on another backing that had an extended like a more powerful battery or a longer lasting battery. There was, I do pretty vividly remember a Motorola phone where you could take off the back of it. You would still have the battery in the phone, and then you could slide on this giant speaker. I still remember that. I know it existed.
I had that.
But you did have that one?
Only because Tiger gave it to me at a point in life where I was having troubles affording stuff. It was his old phone, so he gave it to me.
Yeah. Like that's kind of the extent of where we've gotten. I've seen concepts for other things, but nowadays they're trying to do it with magnets, and my only thought process to that every single time is what happens when you drop it? Because like when you drop it, it shatters into a billion pieces, and now you got to chase your freaking modules everywhere.
It's called 52 phone pickup.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Enough with all the small fun stories. Let's get into civics and sociology. Alright. Circle up. Take a look at some of the institutions. Today we're talking about the firing of Shuhei Yoshida, which would have been the president, was the president of Sony Worldwide Studios in 2019, and he was fired by then CEO Jim Ryan, and he talks about how he was fired because he refused to carry out, quote, ridiculous things, end quote, demanded by Ryan. So this was on this was in a festival in Australia, the Alt Games Festival, and he basically was a part of like a panel that was talking and all this kind of stuff. And at the time, he was kind of joking and laughing about it, so he's clearly moved past it, to be clear here. I'm not trying to like start some crazy beef, but he mentioned that Jim Ryan basically wanted him to do a whole bunch of things that he claimed as ridiculous, and most likely it was the 12-game live service mandate that we've talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan gave him the choice to leave the company or take a significantly smaller role in managing indie developers. Yoshida chose to stay and evangelize the indies for 6 years before he officially retired in 2025. And to be clear here, this is not a man of unknown pedigree. He is credited with overseeing kind of the golden age of PlayStation games with God of War, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, and a lot of other games previously to that. So, the complaints we have about Sony, where we are now, we just talked about exclusives kind of available the other week. This is kind of where your problem comes from. Ryan's goal was to ship 12 live service games by fiscal year 2025, trying to replicate the service of other big games, Fortnite, yada, yada, yada. So far, out of those 12 games, 8 of them have been canceled or abandoned. Last of Us Online, which we've mentioned before, Spider-Man The Great Web, Twisted Metal Live Service reboot, Unnamed Fantasy GAAS game, God of War Live Service project, an unannounced sci-fi live service title from Ben Studios, Bungie kind of Gummy Bears Destiny MOBA spinoff, and other internal projects, and Deviation Games unannounced shooter, with all of these kind of being canceled mostly in 2024, with a few kind of January of 23 or late 23 or January 25. I mean, that's a lot of canceled titles.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of money. And you know what we did get? What did we get? Even. Out of these 12 games, I've mentioned 8 canceled projects. What have we got? We got We got Marathon,
Yep.
which we'll talk about later. And then we got Concord.
Yup. I mean, hey, that's the legacy that Jim Ryan wanted.
So
he wanted live service games. He got them.
Keep in mind here, okay? All of these other canceled games, I have no idea if these would have been good. So I'm not even talking about these. All of the money that could have been spent on really cool single-player projects. Sony instead spent $3.7 billion on Bungie to either A, act as a consultant, or B, to make Marathon. Wow. Lots of good money there. And then potentially 400 to 800 million on Concord, depending on kind of which estimates and rumors you're looking at. So you're talking about potentially up between $4.5 and $5 billion that could have been spent on the production of actual titles.
I mean, it sounds to me like Jim Ryan left the games industry and moved into the charity industry. Because he's just fucking throwing money away.
I mean, pretty much. Concord sold like 25,000 copies before they canceled the whole thing and refunded everybody.
That's insane.
If you take the low $400 million estimate, that is an approximate 16 grand per copy sold.
I mean, I just don't see how a lot of these even like work. Twisted Metal would have been sick. I will say that.
As a concept for a live service game, a essentially battle royale racing game is something that is unique enough that I could see working in the current market. Yes.
100%. I think that could have been a very, very enjoyable game. Would I have played hundreds of thousands of hours of it? Maybe not. Would I have spent $20 on it? Probably.
Sure. Or something, it could be something too that you put time into and then come back every now and then.
Yeah,
if it's easy to jump into, right?
I mean, Twisted Metal is one of those games that as a kid, I know so many people who are like, yeah, this is my main car. You know? And like, I get it.
Well, I mean, as a kid, everyone had their specific Mario Kart character that they had, right?
Same thing.
Yeah, who were you? Who'd you always pick? Were you...
I was always Toad.
Yeah, you min-maxed it, huh? You were Toader?
Yeah.
Knew it. I was Yoshi and Boo. It was Yoshi on like most games, but on Double Dash, I did Yoshi and Boo. I liked that. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember which version of Mario Kart it was, but they introduced something where you could see the stats of the vehicle and the character that you're picking, and I just went for the best that I could out of my play style, right?
Obviously, yeah.
And like my play style is not top speed, it's acceleration. So, Toad.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, here's the thing that kills me here, right? We got Concord, which was terrible. My personal opinion. You'll find some people out there that like it, but no one bought it. So I think we can all agree that it was terrible. Marathon, which again we'll get into, is not the same disaster that Concord is. But for supposedly the amount of money spent on it, it's not a success. And I look at the other things on here, and I don't even know about trying to make a super long-term live service game, but I could easily see a post-apocalyptic social interaction online type game working with Last of Us. You build out the universe, you got to go forage for supplies. Right? There's all kinds of games like that are successful that you could talk about building a base, coming up with a community. Insomniac, Spider-Man the Great Web. There's been plenty of attempts at just superhero, create your own superhero MMOs at any point in time. Would this be the one that have succeeded? I doubt it, but it's at least a space that people have been trying to succeed in. So throwing a valiant attempt at it, I could see being worth the money. The rest, a God of War live service game, I don't get. A lot of these unannounced stuff, I can't really speculate on because it could not have been. But I feel like there's at least a few titles in here between The Last of Us, Spider-Man, and Twisted Metal where you could be like, I could see a space and a certain type of game, not necessarily taking over like Fortnite, but being successful.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, so what were you saying about Last of Us?
So The Last of Us, the space that I could see it's not necessarily live service, quote unquote, but it kind of sort of is, depending on how you managed it. Have you seen the like Red Dead Redemption and GTA 5 RP communities?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
I think if they did something like that, in some way, even if it was just, build your own server, run your own servers, whatever, right? And you just slowly update the game and put new and exciting things into it, and then just let people create their own experience effectively, similar to, Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5, and the way that 5M does their servers.
Yeah,
I think it would have been a success for exactly all the reasons that you stated. It's a very immersive world, and you're scavenging. There's a lot of natural interactions that could come up.
I was thinking along the lines of like DayZ/Rust type of stuff.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I mean, there's a realm in which a Last of Us game could do well.
Which, I mean, DayZ and Rust are basically identical. It's just I would more so lean it for The Last of Us because of its its upbringing, right, for lack of a better term. It has been very immersive, whereas DayZ and Rust, like, they were more PvP actiony, right? Like, that was kind of their intention. So like that's kind of why I would suggest leaning into the RP stuff. Now, Spider-Man, I've never been a huge fan. God of War is an interesting one, but I don't know. I don't know what type of live service project they were going for, but I could absolutely see some kind of God of War like fighting game.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be live service. Fighting game would be cool though. I could totally see that. Gods laying beat downs on each other, picking a god. I mean, that actually does sound awesome. A God of War universe, just 3D but 2D fighter. Like, I would be on board.
Yeah, I mean, even picking some of the bosses that you fight.
Yeah.
Would be pretty sick.
There's all kinds of gods that throughout the series have been referenced.
Yes.
Like, let alone actually shown on screen, that you could easily put in here. 100%.
Yeah.
And because of the new series, you have all the Greek, Roman, Athens gods, plus all of the Nordic gods too. So you could do any combination.
Yeah, and that's why, like, that's the only thing I could really see as like a spin-off.
You even get some animals in there, right? You get Fenrir and all kinds of other stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, other than that, I could see maybe like a MOBA doing the same thing, right? Like all the gods and stuff like that.
But they were trying to do a Destiny-related MOBA, and it's like,
exactly.
Like this is too much and ridiculous. I mean, here's the thing too. We've mentioned kinds of, like, the only one that we've really agreed on could have been a cool live service game, only because like racing games and racing battle games kind of led themselves to that type of thing, is Twisted Metal. Everything else we've talked about here was like, it could kind of be, a live service game, but for the most part, there's other cool stuff that you could just do because of the universe.
Yeah, I mean, but at the exact same...
problem is they're trying to shoehorn in a specific type of game without going, what's something cool that we could do that people would like to play?
Yeah. Now, I think if we went back to the years of Warcraft, right, before WoW released in 2004, I doubt that there were a ton of people who would be playing Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 and be like, you know what? I want to, like, play that character specifically in an RTS, right?
Sure.
And, like, I want to be third person over the top of that character. I want to control all their buttons. Like, there's not a lot of people who could think that in the first place. I mean, I know I wouldn't have. But they did it.
Yeah, I mean, but MOBAs also existed, not MOBAs, MMOs existed already
prior
that realm.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So even though you couldn't see it, it's not like they were conceptualizing something completely new.
That's true.
Although obviously they did a fantastic job and, lightning in a bottle and took over the industry. They were definitely taking their IP and going, hey, there's this cool thing that we know about that we like playing that isn't our stuff. Let's make our stuff that.
Yeah, also known as EverQuest 2.
Yeah.
Basically, yes.
But yeah, so, I mean, yes, you still have to have a visionary, right? But, like, here's the thing. We just talked about making God of War a fighting game.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, like... to your idea, I'm on board. I love your idea. I think it lends it. There's plenty of characters in here, with super powerful moves and heavy hitting punches that would be great in a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's not going to make all the money, and that's kind of the only goal here, clearly.
Exactly,
which is
and
unfortunate.
And that's
the other game
problem.
that I didn't mention that technically was a part of this was Helldivers 2. Which was obviously an actual success for them.
Sort of.
No, it was. Made
Until
a lot
they
of
shot
money.
themselves in the foot.
Well, hey, that's neither here nor there on whether or not the game was a success.
True.
Whether or not they did a lot of damage afterwards is irrelevant because everybody was on board for playing Helldivers 2. I think it would have had equally the same legs as Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
Wasn't for them shooting themselves in the foot, but even now there's still plenty of people that play the game. So like in terms of having a live service success game, they did hit it on one of them. So...
They did. Did it make up for all the rest of them?
No. And does
Didn't
this game
so.
make sense as a live service game? Going out with your friends, fighting off hordes of enemies while saying ridiculous things about freedom and Super Earth? Yes. Like literally, there's a whole cult movie that this game is basically spoofing. That is a very popular cult movie that you could have easily shown. Yeah, I could see how this is a success. Before this game ever came out, like it was poised to succeed. The only thing that was ever stopping it was just whether or not it got this recognition. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Oh, and I just find it. I find it hilarious too because, like, yeah, Helldivers is good, but I just don't. I guess I don't really see it as a live service game, and maybe that's because I didn't really interact with the live service aspects.
Well, plus when they shot themselves in the foot, you stop playing. Like they keep putting out more content. They keep, there's like a evolving story to the universe about which planets are doing what things have been found. They add new modes and planets, maps based off of things that are happening in the universe, and then they constantly have DLC to sell you. So, and by DLC I mean like the live service packs, right? With new weapons and character skins and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it is there. Is it for me? No. I mean, I do know one of my friends and his brother still play it a lot. So there is people out there that still play. There are people out there that still play it. So, but there you go. So 1 out of 12, billions wasted, billions to make millions. So let's get it.
When we use the term "gotta spend money to make money," Usually you're supposed to make more than you spent.
You mean you're supposed to spend millions to make billions, and not billions to make millions?
Correct.
Oh man, dang it! They got
I think
the
they had
math
it
wrong
backwards.
on that one. Anyways, bummer for Yoshida. I would have loved for him to stay in charge and continue giving us some or green lighting and focusing on a lot of the immersive experiences that we've known, that PlayStation used to be about. At some point, it was always the console of the cool narrative, cinematic, Western JRPG experiences, and it's definitely gotten away from that. So, speaking of getting away from that, let's get into business and econ. All right, business and econ always over our heads, but we're going to finally talk about Marathon. Now, I don't plan on necessarily beating a dead horse too much. I don't need hamburger. Just want to get the point across. So a few whacks. Here we go. The budget for Marathon, confirmed by Paul Tassi of Forbes, exceeded $200 million, with sources suggesting over $250 million. And if you've ever kind of gotten into the industry of budgets and marketing, the rule of thumb for movies has always been 50% of the budget added on for marketing, if not 100%. So you could potentially be looking at $350 million between budget and marketing for Marathon, which is ridiculous. It's not a $300 million game. I'm going to tell you that right now.
What'd you spend it on?
Bold colors and lawsuits. Anyway.
Lawsuits. That, honestly, yeah. I wonder if the lawsuits are included in the budget.
The settlement payout is a part of the budget.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
I really wonder if it is.
You know that artist's name is in the credits for Marathon.
Yeah, I believe it. He deserves it.
Oh man, this puts it on the same spending tier as Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
I would bet you they sold more copies of Spider-Man 2.
I would guess as well.
An analytics report says that approximately 1.2 million units have been sold across all platforms as of late March. We are obviously in April, so that price point could have gone higher. However, wouldn't expect it to be too much higher as the numbers continue a downward trend. It is only a $40 game, which is good, but that 1.2 million for $40 transfers to roughly 55 million in revenue, which, even if we include zero marketing, is still only 1/5 of your budget. And games tend to not sell more after launch than they sold in the first launch window.
Right. Especially live service games.
Well, I mean, unless they hit it big, Arc Raiders being the exception, right?
Yeah.
But even then, Arc Raiders sold 4 million copies in 10 days.
Yep.
Oh, man. So, it obviously was a PlayStation first-party title. 70 to 80% of the player base is reportedly on Steam. So...
Surprise.
Most of it is on Steam. The PlayStation 5 sales sit at about 217,000 units, with Xbox at 133,000 units, which makes it the 106th most played game on Xbox. It had a launch peak of 88,337 players on Steam, and as of this week, it peaked at about 20,000 people, which is a 70% or more drop over its launch. So, looking rough.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for Marathon. I know there was a lot of back and forth where some people in the gaming space were taking glee at Marathon's downfall. I was one of the people that expected it to not do well. And then there were a lot of people who wanted to succeed. Shroud said it deserved to succeed over Arc Raiders, I think, at one point. And if I'm misquoting him, I apologize. Correct me in the comments about what he said.
Or don't.
Or don't. Just leave me to be wrong forever now until the end of time.
It's fine. It's just Shroud. Who cares?
I mean, he has a lot more money. He could sue me.
No, he can't. Good luck, buddy. What is he going to sue you for?
It's going to be a hard case when I already admit that may not be the quote, and for to correct me in the comments.
Exactly. But what is he going to sue you for? Your broken down Jeep?
Hey! It gets me to work now.
For now. Oh, sorry, let me correct that. For now.
Oh man. This comes after various patches and initiatives. I don't really feel like we need to get into a lot of these kind of different modes and stuff they added because I don't particularly care about the game. I just am only bringing this up because we kind of have been talking this episode about live service games and Sony in particular. And how long does Marathon stick around? For a $250 million game with operating costs, 20,000 down to 20,000 daily users, which is a downward trend.
Yeah, I mean, the big question is how much are the whales spending, right? Is there enough? Are there enough cosmetics that can be purchased that the whales can keep the game afloat?
Well, those initial launch cosmetics were terrible. And very high priced, and they had to adjust them and admit that they'll do better. So I don't know. Because you are right, the whales could fund the game from now until eternity, but a lot of the reasons you buy those skins is to show them off to the community you're playing in, and if there's not a large community to show off, how much do you spend?
That's very true.
But I don't, like I said, I only am trying to take a couple whacks at this dead horse, not make hamburger. So we're going to move on to a different dead horse. We're going to go back to talking about Game Pass. So,
yay.
In a surprisingly kind of very intelligent move by the new CEO, she cited that Game Pass has, quote, become too expensive for too many players, end quote.
Also known as, here, let me translate. Too many people canceled their subscription.
We aren't actually making any money, even though we increased the price heavily. Oh, crap.
Yeah, literally. And in the little cancel reason, they probably cited price too fucking high.
Yep. Yeah, it probably came with that big jump and within a month or two, I would imagine. And this is effective immediately. This isn't announced as up and coming, thinking about it. So to her credit, she is making these changes and they are happening now. So it will come into effect on your next billing cycle if it's April 21st. So expect to see that if you're re-upping at that time. And they're dropping it back by 25%. Now, keep in mind, they had a 50% 50% price hike. So this is not back to what it was. But a 25% increase is not out of the realm of everything else that has happened, across the rest of the industry. So it's not too bad. And then the numbers do make a lot more sense for someone who would partake in this particular product. It's not me, but I can see quite a few people going, okay, $22.30 a month? Sure. For me to play unlimited amount of games with my limited time, I can see this being affordable.
Yes.
PC Game Pass also got a few dollar discount. The Essential and Premium tiers remain unchanged. It's the Ultimate Bundle that got that 25% reduction, with the rest getting a few dollars or nothing. Yeah, good for people who want to take a part of this. I'm glad that they are doing something. Something's better than nothing. There is a rumor that there might be a build-your-own package at some point for Game Pass, which I do find an interesting concept. I don't know how they would do that. I imagine there's going to be game bundle A, B, C, D, and then you could stack them all or just some of them, or maybe a certain amount of time played per month with a certain tier of game. I don't know. There's obviously very ways you could do it. It's just a rumor. That would be something that I could see as being interesting. One big thing to note of here, which we all kind of thought it was insane that it was included in the first place, but Call of Duty will no longer be a day one Game Pass option. It will come to the service a year later.
See, that's the correct way to do it. Like, okay. When does a game have its steepest drop-off?
3 to 6 months.
Right. But people are still going to be buying it, and you can still make more money by just starting to put it on sale.
It needs to be farther enough out that people that are on the fence are pushed to make the new game purchase decision.
Correct.
While not being so far out that people who didn't necessarily care but would like to play it can still enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. So, like the 1 year decision, I think is perfect because you get your major sales, and then you get your reduced cost sales, and then you say F it and you throw it into Game Pass. You know?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. At $22.30 a month, I would not be opposed to going, you know what? For a month, I'm going to pick up the service and burn through 5 or 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if there's Activision Blizzard titles on there that I have no desire to own long term because all I want to do is play a 4 to 6 hour popcorn campaign just to get the experience and the ride. So that type of thing totally makes sense to me. And to your point, a year out, I can wait.
Yeah.
I was
exactly.
never going to buy this game. So a year out, yeah, sure, why not?
Right, exactly. Now, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that they should delay it based on current sales. Right? It shouldn't be in a year it'll be here. Because all you're going to do is kill your own sales for that. In a year, I can get it with what I'm already paying for.
Here's the thing, though. I think you walk that fine line, right? Because if people never know if it's coming around, then it may be something that they forget and stop caring about.
True.
So for people that don't care enough to buy it, but are interested, repeating that it's a year later, then that might be something that pops back up in their memory. Oh, yeah, I can go play this on Game Pass now. Oh, yeah, I should be able to play that game soon. I look forward to it. Maybe I'll subscribe to Game Pass early, play a few games now, and then when that game comes out, I'll play it.
You have a wish list on Steam, I'm sure. How many games are on it? Is it more than 100?
No, because I cleared it out. Yes, never mind. I cleared it out like 2-3 years ago, and it's back up to like 174.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. If Game Pass had something...
Oh, look at all these on sale. Nice.
Oh, weird. If Game Pass had something where it's like, I'm interested if this ever comes to Game Pass, right? Like a wish list type deal.
I could see that. That'd be cool.
And it could be any game in the fucking industry. I want this game at some point.
I think the only problem with that is, right, like the wish list works on Steam because they're on Steam. So if you don't have the rights to it, to like the imagery and the copyright stuff, without it being on Xbox.
Sure. I get that.
So, I doubt Sony would be okay with you putting a Spider-Man game on your Xbox wish list. Hey, if it ever comes, we'll let you know. I don't think that'll fly.
I mean, yeah, there's some exceptions for sure, but I mean, if you released it on Xbox, then,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, if it's on the platform, regardless, I think anything on the platform, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I bet
no one's
Valve
gonna
wouldn't even care for most of the stuff on Steam. Yeah,
right. Exactly. Like, you're not gonna put Valorant on there, right? And be like, I want this in Game Pass. That's stupid. Just go play it. It's free.
It still makes me think about the time that Valve put Counter-Strike out on consoles. Still, it makes me laugh. Anyways, I mean, to be fair, that was my first experience with Counter-Strike was console back in the day, because it was like a download, because I had played the Orange Box, and so I was looking for other Valve games because I loved the Orange Box, and so I saw it was like a downloadable game, so I tried it.
Fair enough.
Counter-Strike on controller is interesting experience.
I believe that. So we talked a lot of crap about Asha when she first joined.
Yes. Well, because she was like head of AI department, switching over. Yeah.
Yeah. Has anything changed?
Well, she had just made the switch. There hasn't been anything crazy. But this is a good sign. We'll see what happens.
It is a good sign. I also think it's probably a pretty good option to retire the "this is an Xbox" campaign.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she did signal in the background that was dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I find it hilarious that a lot of the industry analysts are viewing this as a peace offering to the community. Meanwhile, on the other fence, or the other side of the fence of Microsoft, World of Warcraft released the buggiest patch we've had in 2 years, and then increased the price in 4 regions. So, I don't know, man. Microsoft just does stuff.
But you can't go anywhere else, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, they didn't increase the price in the US.
What happens when you have a monopoly and an addicted clientele? You do whatever you want.
I can't really say that they have a monopoly, because Final Fantasy XIV does compete.
What are the player numbers between the two?
They refuse to tell us. It is nearly impossible. Yeah, I'm sure there's an estimate somewhere.
But so what was buggy about it?
Everything. Like, when I say everything, I mean we're still finding bugs to this day. And mind you, it released yesterday.
Off the edge.
Oh man. All right. So the estimated numbers for Final Fantasy XIV come from Lucky Boncho, which is like they did a census.
Uh-huh.
And it's like almost 800,000 active characters, with monthly active users between 1.1 and 1.5 million who log for those who log in without significant character progression. So like, I don't know, a couple million between the two, with a total registered user base of around 30 million. The estimated monthly active users for WoW is 7 to 9 million.
Now, is it 10% of WoW? Yes. However, it's really hard to say, because World of Warcraft has about 4 different versions out now that you can play with one subscription.
I mean, but here's the thing. When I like, yes, there are other MMOs, but you can't go anywhere to get the World of Warcraft experience. Like,
that's true.
Like, it's here or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, in every MMO that I've ever played, my biggest complaint has been the smoothness of gameplay. Because that's just not anywhere to be found outside of World of Warcraft in the MMO space. In every MMO I've played, and I've played basically all of them.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, there are other good games for you to play this week.
There are indeed.
Let's get into lab work. Alrighty, lab work. Now, we haven't played any of these games yet, but I wanted to point it out, and there's been some good games before this, like Crimson Desert Online and a couple others. So gamers have been eating good pretty recently. But specifically, in the last week, you have Windrose, which we recently talked about Black Flag being awesome.
We did, indeed.
And I think I specifically mentioned Windrose as potentially something up and coming to fit that fancy. Well, it came out and surpassed 1 million in sales in its first week in early access, which great for them. It currently holds an 89% positive rating on Steam, and its launch day peak was 70K, which is only like 10K under Marathon. So they're doing pretty good. It's to be fair, it hit way higher than Marathon. 220,000 concurrent users once everybody kind of started to get into it. It's a pirate game, PE, survival, and I mean, if you're into that type of pirate type of game with ship stuff and friend stuff and base building and all that kind of looting treasure and everything, there's a game for you to enjoy here. There are some complaints about obviously bugs, especially before you get to your ship. So just be aware of that. But yeah, so fun pirate game. Are you going to play it? I heard you had some friends play it.
I do have some friends that are playing it. I will probably pick it up, yes. The problem, and I find this hilarious, is that I'm the one who, when I'm not around, that's when they go out and play other games. When I am around, we play World of Warcraft. It's very frustrating.
Sounds like
will I play it? Well, no, it's really just that they don't like to make decisions ever. So I tend to just make all the decisions when we're in a group together.
Oh, that's fair.
Cause I'm dead serious. Here's my experience. All right, guys, where do we want to go? Crickets. Literally just fucking crickets for a solid 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm just like, all right, fuck it. We're going to this dungeon. I'm just like, this is dumb. I'm not the only person who can make decisions.
Next time we play like an extraction shooter or something.
So you can make me make the fucking decisions.
Delta Force too. So.
Yes, you did.
I'll keep that in mind moving forward.
Appreciate you. Because sometimes I just want to not make decisions. Hey, I'm already an officer of my guild. I already have to make a ton of decisions as is. I'm already a systems administrator. Exactly. Look, I make tons of decisions.
I am happy to make the decisions. I always just worry about, the community being upset about the decision. So if you're totally fine with rolling with it, I'll keep that in mind for the next time we do something like that.
I want to make a decision. I will make it known.
That's true. I've never doubted that about
you. That's fair.
Other successful games.
Indeed.
Pragmata, which is how I'm assuming that's pronounced because I haven't actually watched any videos for someone to pronounce it yet.
I mean, that's English.
Right? Which is, but it's one of those things, like, I can read a word 1,000 times, but I always worry that in the back of my head I'm pronouncing it wrong,
It could be Pragmata.
Yeah, maybe. We'll find out. Tell me in the comments. Put the phonetics in there for me.
I want all the special characters too. Make sure.
Yes, please, all of them. It is Capcom's most successful new IP in over a decade. Sold 1 million copies in just 48 hours, which is pretty impressive. Because keep in mind, this is not part of a series. It's not part of a universe. This is brand spanking new, not attached to anything. Easter eggs aside, obviously. But it is not an offshoot of anything else, which is kind of wild. I'm glad. Reviewers are loving it, calling it a Game of the Year contender, with scores averaging all 8 to all the way up to 9.5 out of 10s. And this comes after multiple delays since its 2020 announcement. So it always goes to show you that a delayed game is only ever delayed until it comes out. A bad game, even if you patch the crap out of it, will be bad forever. Even the most successful bad games that have fixed themselves, the conversation from now until the end of time will be like, oh yeah, have you tried No Man's Sky? It's awesome now. It was terrible, but it is awesome now. Like, you'll never be able to get rid of that. It'll always be that smudge, no matter how far away you get away from it. Exactly. Assuming you actually get away with it, which most games never turn it around.
Yeah, they really generally just don't. And on top of that, I've gone back to No Man's Sky many times, and I find it very hilarious because I find myself going back, I run into one bug, and I alt F4.
No,
because now my expectation is that it needs to be perfect
because it's been out for a long time,
and it's not.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I do think we can all agree that No Man's Sky is now a good game, but the point is, put out a good game. Don't put out a bad game and fix it. Put out a good game. And you know who put out a good game? Surprisingly, considering the conversations we've had, is Capcom. They put out a good game.
Now, I do find it really hilarious that your statement is the best new IP in over a decade.
Most successful
new IP in over a decade.
Yes.
So the problem with that, I think they only come out with one other IP.
I mean, the point is, hey, if you're the only one that's successful, that means you're the only one that's successful. It doesn't matter if there's no other contenders.
Sure.
Look, if no one runs against you in a political race, right? Do you not still say I won the race?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I do really want to try Pragmata, though. It has looked very fun.
For anyone that doesn't know, it's a sci-fi lunar romp where you are a dad.
You basically. It's pretty accurate.
Not to spoil too much, but there is an AI character that is modeled after a little girl. You take her under your wing to try to escape a bad situation, and the gameplay combat is kind of what you expect, except they added an awesome, unique real-time hacking mechanic where to expose enemy weak points, you have to hack them during combat. So you have to play a little hacking minigame, which that is one of the rumors for the delays, is that mechanic didn't feel good internally during testing, and so one of the reasons they delayed it was to kind of make it fun, and everything indicates that they were successful. So, hey, how many times do we ask for new gameplay mechanics and fun and interesting, unique ways to play games? So if you want something that does something different, that has a good story that I'm not going to spoil, when I say horrendous, I want to mean overwhelmingly wholesome moments. It has those too. So if you want something that's good for your soul, fun and unique, it looks like this game's going to be able to scratch that itch for you. Its director is Sho Youngi. Is that what you went with earlier?
Cho Youngi.
Youngi? You're going with Youngi? He was the designer on Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Also a good game. Flawed, but good. He was a weapons designer on Nier Automata. Great game. So, Pragmata is his debut game, and nailed it. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other people on the team, so congratulations to that whole team that made it work. But awesome. And more stuff like this. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, if you put any stock in Steam reviews, it is at nearly 95%.
Yeah, basically universally loved. This, for as much as we like to crap on Monster Hunter Wilds, if this is the new Capcom, great. Like, focus on putting out games that are not broken, that are good.
Please.
Focus putting out games that are fun, because this is clearly fun. If this was what we can expect from quality and entertainment value from Capcom, I'm on board for the new Capcom.
Yeah, and reading through a few of the reviews, they specifically praised the lack of live service bullshit.
Yep.
Or microtransactions or any of that.
Speaking of recently released games, this comes off the heels of the successful Requiem too. So, like, they're doing a good job. Its peak player count though is only 70K. So
oh no, it's a single player game.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, it's a single player game. Sell your copies, make your money, give people something to remember, and then move on to the next experience so that you can do Pragmata 2 and we can all have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Or something else in the same universe. That's like one thing I really want to stress more than anything. It does not need to be a direct sequel every time.
That's true.
I don't need you to necessarily continue the same story every single time. You can put it in the same universe. Hell, it can be in the same exact time period. I'm just playing a different character that the character in the previous one had no interaction with outside of maybe they mentioned their name once.
Yeah, sounds like you should play a Call of Duty game. I feel like that's what they do.
No, thank you. I'm good.
I don't even know if that's fully true anymore.
All right, what's the last one?
Sorry, just beating on another dead horse. The last one, and again, all three of these very different experiences. The last one's going to be Mouse PI for Hire, which is a very stylistically different game where you're going to have basically kind of the 3D, 2D kind of Doom-ish type shooters from back in the day, where it's all black and white, and it's got that 1930s cartoon hand-drawn look, a la Cuphead, and as far as I know, all the animations are hand-drawn in that game. So if you're wanting something that has a unique art style and involved a lot of hard work by hand from artists, this is something that you're definitely going to want to take a look at. A lot of cool and interesting weapon designs and gun designs as well. Again, all animated by hand. And it's got some decent reviews. Definitely has some problems, but it's in the mid-80s, so it's definitely a fun experience that you can go play. You play as, keep in mind I said Mouse PI for Hire, you play as Jack Pepper, which is a war hero turned detective in the city of Mouseburg. So expect a lot of mouse jokes and puns and all kinds of other things. I've actually seen some fun things too with the names of a lot of the guns and weapons that are definitely inside jokes. So there's lots of references to some very old school noir or just cartoon type stuff. So there's lots of fun things too to kind of sink your teeth into, going, hey, what's the history behind this? Why is it called this? Lots of cool things to experience with that as well. It features a lot of cartoon slapstick violence. You can drop pianos on enemies, anvils on enemies as they're just tied up on the ceiling for some fun reason. And of course, lots of interesting weapons. I think one of the weapons I saw was a crowd control ray gun that you got by taking a brain, putting it in a jar, and connecting it to your gun. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Lots of fun things to do here. Definitely fills a unique gap on the market at the moment. So wide variety for people to play this week and from last week, a few weeks past. So if you don't have anything to play, that's literally not true. There are plenty of new fun games to play. Whether or not you can afford them, that's your business. But there are plenty of things to play. And I think all of these are on Steam, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm very curious how long Pragmata is.
Well, you will have to look that up. there's only one other thing I wanted to get into, because we talked about some good games. So let's talk about a not so good game in Shop Class. All right, getting into Shop Class. We mentioned Starfield being ported and released to the PlayStation in early April. Well, do you have any idea how long that is since the original release?
Roughly 3 years.
Yep, it has been a while. That is for sure. And they didn't do a good job of porting this game over. I don't know how else to get into this other than I have to pull out my inner mom, I guess. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed.
I can't be mad because I'm not surprised. This didn't come out of left field. I'm just disappointed because it's like, I can't believe that after 3 years, you can't do a port correctly for a game that has been out for forever. So, the game came out for PlayStation with widespread reports of crashing, indicating the game was crashing as early as 6 minutes into the tutorial mine of the game, or just having a hard freeze that required a full system restart. Some PS5 Pro specific failures. So, despite being a Pro-enhanced title with PlayStation's spectral super resolution support, users reported that the Pro version suffers from unique infinite loading screens and FPS drops in visual mode, so dropping below 30 frames a second. Critical bug affecting save files, specifically when players attempted to leave the starting area, would cause the file to corrupt, which, when you're playing an RPG, corrupting your file is basically a cardinal sin. And
correct.
Right? And then an update caused new stuttering on the Xbox Series X version of the game as well. So, I don't know what is going on at Bethesda, but the fact that you can't get a port right when you had infinite amount of time, I don't know what to do with you as a company. This just isn't acceptable. This isn't even a new release. Starfield came out, and we were all like, yeah, it's a Bethesda game full of bugs. I mean, it had too many bugs, way too many bugs, of which was unacceptable, but it was yeah, it's kind of par for the course for Bethesda, but port of a 3-year-old game. These aren't I got stuck in geometry. These are, my save file got corrupted and I lost hours of playtime. My game forced me to hard reboot my console.
So, I'm gonna mention something hilarious. So, Bethesda games have a very, very, very common phenomenon of getting patched and bug fixed by the community.
Yeah, but that's usually mods on PC.
Correct. But my point is that the bug fixes are out there. All you have to do, the community has done the work for you. All you have to do is take that code, confirm it's good, put it in your game, and you're done. You've done the thing.
Yeah, but then you might have to pay a creator.
No, you don't. It's just code, and they didn't. No, just no. Anyways, there is over 10 megabytes of unofficial patches for Starfield that were updated as recently as April 8th.
Well, Bethesda didn't get the memo.
They never do. There is still an unofficial patch out there for Skyrim.
I mean, I don't think I can justify the purchase, especially after Starfield, of any Bethesda game in any sort of release window.
Correct.
It's just not possible at this point. There was supposed to be a patch in the last couple of days to fix a lot of the more dire things. We'll see if the game runs well for people after that, but it shouldn't have even been this bad. I mean, no one expects a perfect game with 0 bugs, but you do expect a playable game.
Yeah. I think that's very true nowadays. I know, well, honestly, I think just in the past, we didn't really see bugs the same way we do now, right? A lot of times, I'm looking back at like PlayStation 1 games, right? Like original Spyro or original Crash Bandicoot.
I mean,
right?
there was a reason
bugs.
that Nintendo had to make the Nintendo seal.
Correct.
So I would say there were games that existed that had a lot of broken stuff. But
absolutely.
I think the point you're going for here is that a lot of the major publisher titles did not have these types of bugs.
Yeah, exactly. And the bugs that they did have, 9 times out of 10, they were just funny.
Sure.
You know, they weren't hard locks.
You can look at, like, there were bugs for, like, let's just go with GTA San Andreas, right? But I don't remember anything close to, like, game-breaking bugs that you would have found in Skyrim.
Yeah, not even remotely.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a bummer. I can't believe we still are here and that they still can't figure it out. I just don't understand.
But it's QA, right? It's the first thing to go at every company. It doesn't matter if you're a software developer, game developer, or anything else for that matter. At the end of the day, hire more QA and do more quality testing. It's not that hard.
Yeah, but remember, Todd Howard promised me that it just works. I bet the 140,000 copies they sold in the first week, Sony fans went, oh yeah, I guess I'm not missing much.
Probably. Yeah. That or they just refunded it.
Quite a few did, and Sony issued it because it was unplayable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. Yeah. People need to get their stuff together. We can't live like this anymore. Well, that's not true. In smaller studios get a pass. You cannot be a AAA studio, AAA in air quotes, and do this type of thing anymore. This is not acceptable. Do better, be better.
Not only that, 9 times out of 10, their turnaround time is slow as hell too. Right?
Yeah.
It's like you see indie devs, their turnaround time is like, hey, I've updated the game 17 times in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, come on.
Yep. All right. Well, hopefully they do something better. Someone doing something better that I just found unique, and I love that it exists, and I'd love to try it at some point. On March 31st, CD Projekt Red announced, and Zero Latency VR announced a collaboration to bring Night City into a location-based VR format. So the experience is confirmed to launch at over 150 zero latency locations worldwide, including 30 different companies. It is actually not a direct port. It is a described self-contained adventure and a bespoke experience, specifically for warehouse-scale VR environments.
Huh?
So, it is a
cool, but
building-size VR experience where players step into the role of, obviously, a Cyberpunk 2077 cyber-enhanced mercenary guy with the marketing tagline, "Be a mercenary, build your crew, become a legend," end quote. So, suggesting some like squad-based type of stuff. It is a warehouse-sized arena, allowing for 360-degree action where players can physically walk, turn, and interact with the environment on a human scale. Zero Latency has access to the original assets, including environment designs and character models, ensuring that they're having continuity for the game. It marks the first official time fans can explore the Cyberpunk universe together in cooperative / multiplayer type setting. The experience utilizes Zero Latency's Generation 3 technology, featuring wireless untethered headsets. No backpack PCs are required, allowing for total freedom of movement without any cable management issues. There's full body tracking as well. People are representative as full avatars with physical movements translated directly into the game world to enhance immersion and prevent motion sickness. For people in Colorado, they do list a coming soon downtown Westminster location. I bring this up for two things. One, this is cool. B, you want full dive, right?
I do. I want full dive where I can just lay in my bed and not
Yes, I
do
know
anything.
you don't want to move a single muscle, but come on, this is getting pretty close.
I'm waiting for all the reports of people slamming into the side of the warehouse. That's what I'm waiting for.
Imagine that it's got the perimeter built in, that there's something that indicates the perimeter of the warehouse, right? So that whatever you're seeing in the headset, that's an edge of something, right?
Yeah, at least theoretically it should be.
Well, if this comes to any sort of local area, we should play. We should go try it out.
So realistically, I think the best option would be for you and Maru to go. or maybe like you, Maru, and Tiger. Because like I get so motion sick when it comes to like VR stuff in general.
But
I'll have to look more into it. Yes, I'll have to look more into it. Because there's a chance that I could definitely deal with it.
I was like,
there's also a high chance that I couldn't.
Being stationary or teleporting, right, and only being able to kind of move in a small box, I wonder if it would help if you could literally go places and move around.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then all of a sudden I need to purchase a warehouse because I'm done with regular gaming. That's what it comes down to.
Maybe this helps you kick your WoW addiction. Oh man. So full-size VR is a thing that I didn't know existed, and now because of this Cyberpunk partnership, I do know it does exist. If you've been to a zero latency VR experience elsewhere that obviously isn't the Cyberpunk one, tell us how it was. Tell us if it was fun and if it's worth giving this collaboration a try if it ever comes anywhere near us.
Yeah, I would actually really, really like to get your guys' opinions on that if you have it.
Yeah, somebody who's done it and experienced it, throw it down as a comment and let us know.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, you should definitely do that. Do I have to also tell them to turn on the bell?
I mean, you could, but we also have this.
All right, people, close your book and pack your bags. That's all we have time for today. And just remember, if you say, I hope you go do something in-game, it doesn't you are still responsible, especially if you're now talking about a VR game that you can go play in real life in a warehouse. So, you can't use in Minecraft as an excuse anymore.
VR Minecraft.
We hope you enjoy your time off and look forward to your participation next time. Peace.
See ya.